a world run by billionaires, one charity 5K becomes a mind-melting trip through greed, hallucinations, and the demon within. This is Giggle Water.
Giggle Water, still sparkling psychedelic.
You maniacs did it. You voted on Instagram, you tipped the scales, and now we're making a movie about CEOs tripping on laced race water.
This is what happens, Harrison, when you let the internet choose our fate. Giggle Water is here, and it's bringing corporate greed, psychedelic ego death, and a 5K gone wildly off course.
At the heart of it, a charity fun run where some well-meaning protester spikes the water station with LSD. And next thing you know, billionaires are hugging trees, confronting their childhood traumas, and possibly fighting imaginary demons.
Or maybe they're real demons.
Yes.
Or maybe the real demon is unchecked greed.
This is Giggle Water, a mockumentary where tech CEOs trip, unite, and briefly become better humans. Emphasis on briefly.
So grab your water bottle, open up that big third eye, and hit the subscribe button. If reality starts to unravel for you during this episode, just go with it. You've probably been dosed as well.
Oops. Before we start dosing people, we also have a super cool announcement this week that's been a long time in the making. In true John fashion, he has once again taken a dream of ours and turned it into a reality. What am I doing? What am I talking about? The vault! So the vault is now an actual place, and we want you to visit it ASAP. So for those that don't know, the vault has been our fun name for the place we store Fast Five ideas we love, but that didn't make the cut for a feature episode. Think of it as a noble stomach for delicious movie ideas. I'm talking about movie ideas like, more recently, Juice Above the Clouds, The Pledge, Vampire not too long ago, even going all the way back to Atomic Torpedo, Mom Jeans, and of course, our first vault beer, Powder Jones. Harrison, this is the best news since Wi-Fi enabled dishwashers. How do we see the vault? Great point and great question. It's on our website. Website? So yes, we have a website. Unsurprisingly, it's called beermethatmovie.com. Head over there if you haven't yet. We joked a few episodes ago about making an IMDb for BMTM, and John freaking did it. In addition to the vault, you can see a list of all of our features and even test your memory of past episodes with the Beer Me That Movie game. Or Beer Me That Movie the game. Whatever, it's a game about Beer Me That Movie.
Beer Me That podcast. Throwback to episode 1.
Oh, man. And John also created that. So while you're there and checking out the vault, you'll notice that we've set it up so you can vote on your favorite vault ideas. Yes, once again, we're asking you to vote on stuff. What will we do with those votes? Who knows? But if you subscribe to the podcast and follow us on socials, you'll know as soon as we do. So once again, a big cheers to John for making dreams into realities, and cheers to all of you out there for joining us on this journey and helping us make Beer Me That Movie the best it can be by voting on stuff. So head on over to beermethatmovie.com and get your vault on. We're excited to see your favorite movie ideas that got left behind and what they are. I'm sure a few will get a second chance at that glorious day in the sun that is becoming a feature film on Beer Me That Movie. Dream big, little vault beers. Dream a little dream, flying free on the podcast airwaves. Once again, well, what happened? What happened there, John?
You initially were telling people they can vote on their favorite vault beers on the website.
Oh, cool. Easy enough. Well, let's not drag on the combo then, John. Time to get to our feature, Giggle Water.
This is fiction. That means it's not real, even if it should be.
So we're going to start with say it with me, 1. Yes, this is... One day we're going to start in a different place, but
that's right.
Most of the days we're going to start with Act 1.
We'll Tarantino it.
Yeah, exactly. We've been watching it in reverse.
Heck of a thing to try to do live on a podcast. This is the end. No, this is the middle. He was his wife and his husband.
Oh, that actually would be fun. I threw up. Now go backwards from there. So anyways, starting with Act 1, Giggle Water. Act 1, A Race to the Bottom. So a brief... Read the back of the VHS tape, right? So a brief synopsis of this film. Climate collapse, class divide, dystopian vibes. It's a world on edge with political leaders seen as clowns, idiots, or simpletons capable of no real change. Society, learning nothing from the past, has turned these leaders of industry and technology to step up and save us from ourselves, themselves mainly. The greedy CEO fleabags answer the call the only way they know how, with a charitable event that they could use as a tax write-off.
That sounds about right.
So that's
mailing it in.
Exactly. Well, I can have someone run this for me, and then I can pay for my, pay less taxes. I wish I understood how that worked. I would also be rich,
tax write-offs sound great, but I don't make enough money to save that kind of dough.
Exactly. I saved all my money on taxes, and I'm still poor.
That's right. What are you doing wrong? Not exploiting enough things. Son of a gun.
So the premise is these CEOs get together and... they're doing this charitable race for humanity.
Right.
The 5K Run for Humanity held out in Silicon Valley.
Of course.
Every
Beautiful.
year. Before the weather gets too hot.
Right.
It's never held on a rain day. There's always a backup rain date because you guys don't want to run in the rain.
No.
Or at all. But
or at all.
It's good press. Oftentimes it's seen as a good press. You're going to see some of the other big CEOs. Harrison's going to introduce... Good luck, Harrison. Some of the big CEOs. So you want to be out there in the race with them, like a turkey trot for the rich and famous.
For really, really rich people. And that's kind of, I think some of the things that are a little different about this than other 5Ks that we should call out is that this is like exclusively billionaires. And I think to kind of make the story, put some more stakes on here, like John just said, the back of the VHS, like, so okay, they've done this race maybe a couple years now, but this year is like the worst. We've got icebergs falling off of ice shelves. We've got dead penguins on the news, polar bears emaciated, the ozone's holes covers half the planet. Like things have gotten beyond bad thanks to nobody knowing what they're doing in any place of power. And humanity is kind of like, well, maybe the CEOs can save us. That's how bad it's gotten. That we're turning bad. Because no one else has any money or any power, so maybe these Scrooges can do something. Want to save themselves at least? Be selfish enough to save the planet they also live on.
They've been thinking about moving to another planet. We're in a lot of trouble.
Stop building rockets to get off. But make them save the one that we're already stuck with for a while. So that's where we're at, and so maybe because the stakes are higher and lots of press about this. This year, it's just CEOs in this race. It's kind of become quickly like the place to be if you maybe also see the people, society looking for the next leader, and you're some CEO who can smell power from a continent away going, ooh, if I show up to this race and I look good and I say a couple things to the press, I could be the president or the king or whatever we have in this weird world we're all living in and about to run through. So the stakes are high. The world is looking at this race as almost a first glimpse at a lot of CEOs and maybe how human they can be. Maybe years past, they've had proxies run in it, like assistants with a GoPro on their head running for them. But this year they're not allowing that because, again, the stakes are too high. The next leader of the free world could be in this race, John.
It's definitely on ESPN 8 and 12.
Yeah, and maybe even one of the ESPN Pluses. Certainly not ESPN. That just plays Sports Center now.
Sports Center 24/7.
That's right.
It's good for having a bar.
Right. Just exhausted people looking at highlights that we can all watch on YouTube. Silly ESPN. Anyway, they mean well.
And this year, there's going to be a film piece happening.
Yes,
about
right,
it too.
Right, exactly right. So we talked about in the Fast Five that because the stakes are so high, and it's all these CEOs actually running, and we can have fun with this. Of like, there should be a few maybe hermit CEOs that come out of their giant castle-like mansions. The not the Rockefellers, and maybe the Chocofellers of the chocolate empire.
13th only to Hershey and 12 other chocolate brands.
Exactly right. But the only one left after the chocolate wars. And then
My daddy was the one that said you should never put a candy shell on it. People want their chocolate melted.
they want it right on their fingers. They
They
can
have to
feel
eat it
that
quick,
chocolate.
and then they have to buy it again.
You're right. Exactly right. Those candy shells are killing sales. Shellless. We had to go shellless, fools.
They're mixing in salt and packets of chocolate. This will make them thirsty. We all sell chocolate water.
The chocolate water. Move that chocolate water. It goes bad real quick on the shelf. They got to be thirsty in the store.
We can't let them know it has to be refrigerated.
Chugging chocolate. Right. That's too inconvenient. We won't write self-stable on it, but it'll be implied poorly.
Drink quick.
Oh, that's what it's called. Drink quick. What a good name. The chocolate drink that you need to drink quick. Okay, so yeah, so that the heir of that fortune hobbles out of his mansion for this. So again, there's attention, press, and this documentarian has been given maybe exclusive rights to like run along the CEOs somehow. And that's where we should probably start in terms of introducing people, because as is tradition, if you check in the beer we pick, you get to be in the movie. So tonight is no different. And John and I talked about it a little bit. So Lance checked in this beer. So thank you, Lance, for enjoying Giggle Water. Was it a beer? It was a beer. We thought it'd be a good seltzer name.
Yeah,
it is a beer. Okay,
yep,
so
or THC seltzer
right.
name, or maybe LSD water.
Yeah, exactly right. Forget THC.
I don't know if breweries are making LSD water yet, but
Yet, if you're interested,
If you
we got
can.
an idea.
I will be a customer.
At least once. So Lance, we're not going to make him an evil CEO, but instead he can be kind of the filmmaker here. And I think it'd be, fun if it's like his first big gig, his first break. So a little excited about it, but also pretty nervous. He's, got to cover all these CEOs who are kind of known for being just kind of extravagant, hedonists, basically. You don't, know how much a banana costs, don't know what real people go through every day, but also real people are turning to them hoping they can maybe save the world somehow. So he's stuck in between a rock and a hard place of like, all right, I want to be a documentarian, film it truly and clearly, but
Lance used to own a brewery.
Okay, let's go.
And the brewery had an investor that was probably one of these wealthy CEO types.
Got it.
And the investor kept telling him, he's like, you need to make LSD water. You need to make LSD water. And Lance was like, we can't do that chemically
extremely
or
illegal.
legally. I think we would lose a lot of money unless
Right.
you want to bankroll me like 250 million. I'm gonna have to turn you down. The CEO was like, fine, then I'm gonna have to pull my funding. Good luck keeping the tap room afloat. They shut down. Lance was pretty pissed about that.
Okay.
But he went to college for media studies, because
Perfect.
no one goes to college to be a brewer.
Right. Right.
So he kind of falls back on that, and his buddy
Right.
worked at ESPN,
Right.
and he was like,
ESPN the Ocho.
"We're gonna be doing coverage on the race for humanity. If you still have your equipment, I could give you the gig. You
Right,
could
there we
get your
go.
start in the documentary
Get
world.
your back. Right.
It's about CEOs." Lance's like, I fucking hate
fucking hate
CEOs, man.
CEOs.
Well, you're gonna be close to them, and maybe they'll help you get started.
I love that. Yes, no one goes to school to be a brewer, but a lot of media studies majors become brewers. So this tracks. Lance couldn't do anything with his major for a while, so opened up a brewery, but now he's back on his original chosen path. Perfect. All right, cool. So Lance is gearing up again, nervous, high stakes. He's excited, curious, doesn't know what the hell he's gonna do, but just hit record and hope for the best. And that's really all you can do as a documentarian. So. All right, let's talk about some of these CEOs. Again, there's going to be a lot. I don't know how many, 50, 60, so maybe not a lot, but a lot. There are only so many CEOs in the world, John.
That's true. But we'll probably have, I think it's fun to make them up. Who do we bring up? The chocolate melters?
Yes, what did they call the Chocofellers? Right, the Chocofellers of the chocolate empire.
There's
So
got to be,
we've got them.
This is America. There's definitely a baseball card CEO. Like, I like the very specific.
Baseball
Like,
card.
yeah.
What were they called? What was that company? What
Upper
can
Deck,
okay,
Dunross.
So then Upper Deck's already a funny name. If You're a toilet seat company. All right, so we call them the bottom decker, the dugout. That's the name of the company. Dugout cards.
Dugout playing
The
cards.
third best playing cards in the game. Yeah, right. It also is implied by all these CEOs that are left over with the Chocofellers and the dugout card folks. Maybe a huge war happened where all the top tier CEOs were.
Yes, I'm thinking something like Demolition Man.
Oh, okay.
They keep referencing
So
like
we've
Taco
got-
Bell won the restaurant wars.
Right. Yes, exactly.
They never talk about it.
Right.
So like a similar thing probably happened here too.
Oh man, so we could have the CEO of not Taco Bell, but there's another. We've made a fake Taco Bell in the past. What did we
Oh
call
man.
What did we call it, John?
I hate that I don't know the answer to that. My brain's not big
Was it
enough.
Bell or was it Gong?
Bell Taco?
Was it Pizza Gong?
This is an alternate universe
It is.
that Harrison
Was
and I
it Pizza
created.
Gong? Well, we could have the CEO of Pizza Gong,
Yeah.
that merged Pizza
Chinese
Hut and-
pizza.
and Panda Express. Pizza Gong exists now. Chinese crab rangoon calzones.
You're not gonna catch me turning that
It's a
down.
huge
Holy
crab
God.
rangoon. Wow.
I know we turn beer into movies here, but Crab Rangoon Calzone
That'll be the,
should exist.
that's the,
I mean,
right.
health-wise,
it
no,
can. Maybe you've drinking enough Giggle Water, you can make it happen tonight. But I love a crab rangoon calzone. So this guy's a genius. Whoever the CEO of Pizza Gong is, he's there in his high socks and his, I don't know, sleek suit, running
I
suit.
imagine everyone's wearing running suits, but they're like, what is it, Viore or
Right,
like
yes.
Lululemon? Like
the most expensive
Lululemon
ones.
is for the trash people. These guys are wearing like
yeah, the stuff we don't even know about yet.
yeah, exactly.
The things that they only make one of.
You don't wear midnights? Oh
Right,
yeah, I
exactly.
always wear midnights.
Didn't get invited to the Midnight Club.
You can't see if you pee, if a little pee comes out.
Exactly right.
There's a blocker built in,
Yep,
so no one can tell
see it.
if you dribble afterwards.
Same with poop, I've been told.
It's brilliant.
Okay.
Only wear midnights.
It immediately evaporates it somehow. It might be highly toxic and
Pure
slightly
charcoal.
radioactive, but
If it peers my blood.
it's doing everything. I feel a little sick after wearing it for a while, but they say that's normal. So there's all this, right? We're getting quick little glimpses into the elusive, exclusive technologies, pharmaceuticals, healthcare products that all these CEOs get that the common folk, again, don't even know exists. We'll get the watered down version in a decade and a half.
Exactly. I bought the Midnight Company. They can only make them for me for 10 years.
Just like we're all finally getting semaglutide, when I'm convinced that's what Hollywood's had since the 80s and why everyone's so short. They just haven't told us that's the side effect yet.
They haven't told Hollywood either.
Right,
There's just
yeah.
like 5 agents out there that are like,
God
okay,
damn it,
yeah, I'll
we gotta
take you
keep
on.
the lid on this. Gotta keep the lid on. It just stops your growth completely.
Let me give you your hydration shot.
That's right. Oh, you've always been 5'8", Tom. All right.
Look at how good you look.
Look at that
I
smile.
worked out for 13 minutes last week. I know.
I know
You're
you did.
so far ahead of
We can
everyone
see
else.
it. Just take your drink, take your shot. So yeah, we're getting a peek into this world. So we've got the Chocofellers, we got the Pizza Gong guy, and then a bunch more. We'll have fun with him as we go, but I think there should be kind of 3 we really focus on and follow
The big
throughout.
3.
The big 3. You know who I'm talking about at home. So we put some thought into this. So the first one, of course, is the household name Elon Tusk. You heard that right. Elon Tusk.
Elan?
Elon?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
safe.
Elon Tusk.
I don't want to go to jail tomorrow.
No. Elon Tusk with a T.
Elan Tusk.
Yes.
So what did he do? Buy other people's companies and then say that he made them?
Yes, John. Well, it's close to that. I think I know what you mean. That sounds very familiar. Elon Tusk, in addition to that, got his start in the illegal ivory trade, of course. But now he organizes extracting oil and natural resources out of, war-torn countries. So a real stand-up guy, this Tusk. I guess it's better than killing elephants, is it? I don't know.
Well, they're all gone after the wars.
That's right. No more elephants to kill.
So he found a new way to make money. Is basically the best paid arms dealer.
Yeah, something like that. And oil executive, and has all the minerals that are in all of our phones. So he's got the world by the Pizza Gong.
Trade rights. Yeah.
All right. After that, we have Mike Zuckerberg.
Mike Zuckerberg.
That's right. You heard that correctly. Mike Zuckerberg.
The guy that's changed his identity 5 times and manages to look cooler and more pedophilic every time.
Exactly. And 9 plastic surgeries and right. He's mostly just skin grafts of his own ass at this point. It's all over his face and his body. Speaking of faces, so he created Bookface. You heard that correctly.
Ah, great.
Bookface. We all know this app, right?
Super clever.
Yes, the online app where you vote on how ugly people are. This is somehow worth millions of dollars. If that existed, which it might, it probably would be worth a lot of money. But anyway, in this world it does, and Mike Zuckerberg invented Bookface. So he's in this race, gearing up, having trouble putting his headband on because of all the skin grafts.
It
But
sticks.
his assistant's figuring it out.
Keep sticking put wax paper on.
Stapling into his head. He can't feel anything anymore. It's fine. As Lance looks on in horror with his camera. Oh my God, he's bleeding from the temple. That's not really his temple. That's technically part of his hip.
He's getting more blood after this race anyway. This blood will be all used
His blood
up.
isn't even his blood, right? Don't worry about it, Lance. Okay, so he's lining up. And then we have the one and only Jeff Bozo. Jeff Bozo. Bozo no so. That's the household phrase we all saw in his used furniture commercials. Before that, he was a clown, but now he owns the largest pharmaceutical company in the world called Amazon. Amazon.
Clever.
Right.
Okay, I think we're still legally safe.
I think we're good. Totally doesn't steal ancient plants from the Amazon and turn them into expensive drugs for the rich. No way. And he's also totally not trying to harvest all the laughter in the world and somehow monetize it. Wouldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Just a humble former clown, now owner of a large science company, Jeff Bozo.
Science company, but he's
company.
clearly not harvesting Amazonian plants, and he's also not monetizing people's laughter.
Yeah,
right?
no,
Those
would
are
never
the
do
two
it.
things we know about him.
Never. Even though every time somebody chuckles at a joke, he immediately points a weird magnetic-looking remote at them and says, "Damn it," and then puts it away. When will this work?
Buy my shoes. They're not made of dead people's skin on the bottom.
It's something else. It's anything else.
Why did you have to say that?
Jeff, why did you
say
that up?
anything else about them?
Yeah, it looks like
Just want you
rubber.
to know.
That's definitely not what they're made of. If anyone asks you, that's definitely not what they are. Don't put it under a microscope. It's plastic.
I don't have my own morgue that I cut people's skin off of to make shoes.
Right. Exactly. Aren't most of the people who lived in San Francisco now missing? Couldn't tell you. Don't know. Just don't look at the bottom of our shoes.
They
but
weren't wearing
please
my
buy
shoes.
More. So he's got magical shoes. Yeah, and he's definitely wearing them. And maybe says something to his assistant like, "You got me the good ones, right? The ones that were a little overweight." "Oh, I mean, all right. Yeah, these shoes look good. Comfy bottoms. Perfect." He definitely is Buffalo Bill is his assistant. Is that a name from somewhere?
One day we're gonna make a whole suit.
Bill, quiet. That's private plane talk. You know that. Only on the jet.
Of course, because the surveillance CEO is probably here as well.
Oh yeah. What should the company, the telecom company that does more than telecom and also makes missiles and right that? So it can't be. Gosh,
we call her Ma Bell, but that's
Ma Bell. Yes,
Ma Bell from the old AT&T breakup.
I was gonna say, yeah, it could be, yeah, Bell Industries, which was a real company, I think. Bell Enterprises.
I think it was the first big monopoly lawsuit.
I think you're right.
They had to break up the phone company.
They did.
And it used to be referred
remember
to
that.
as Ma Bell.
I remember, but we can call it. But the CEO of Bell Enterprises is Ma Bell.
For sure. Publicly known for creating the fastest 6G ultra Wi-Fi high-speed band that you can connect to all your friends on Bookface with.
Yes.
Also sort of conspiratorially slandered as the mother of surveillance.
Yes, exactly.
People will even they'll be like mouthing words to each other,
right?
Like, I really need a new bed mattress, and then they'll hold their phone up and it'll have a discount bed mattress ad on there, and
Perfect.
they're like, Ma Bell,
Bell, almost knows
really,
what you need.
Me any day.
I know.
They tell me it's the algorithm, but come on.
Yeah, right. The algorithm that's listening in my house. It's amazing.
I didn't even say it out loud. I was just thinking this is what I wanted.
Just thinking about it. Oh my gosh, it's like they're following me around. That happened to me the other day. I walked into a guitar store in person and got a notification from an online guitar store telling me about a special. And I was like, you know, I'm in a guitar store right now, don't you? You're trying to get me to turn around and buy this guitar in my car.
And I'm supposed to believe people go missing?
Underground tunnels, where do they go? To an Amazon warehouse? Amazon warehouse?
Amazon. Clearly and legally distinct.
Oh, gosh. It's all just a big algorithm. All just trying to sell more hot dogs and trucks, John. But anyway.
So lots of wealth of this. I mean,
So
had
wealth.
this been named something other than Giggle Water, you'd probably be thinking we're setting up for like a big world-ending scenario. But no,
Right.
this is Giggle Water. It's a mockumentary documentary about CEOs getting together for this charity race to benefit humanity. And much like the real world, like it's not touted as like the CEOs are all going to donate $1 million for every second they're running.
Right.
You know, that'd be cool. Then you,
That
as
would
a
be
CEO, you
cool.
would want to run fast, but nothing like that. It's just we're going to get to watch these guys run a 5K.
Right, and no one's called them out on that yet. They're like, what happened? What's the run? Where's the charity part of this? Talk to my assistant.
Just media production. It's like charity race. Ching-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
100% of goal reached. What was the goal? Just talk to my assistant.
Don't ask those questions.
Somewhere in the bylaws. I don't. Right, that's our lawyers. Lawyers will tell you. I'm just here to run today. I don't do interviews.
I'm doing this for humanity.
That's right.
Lance is trying to get interviews
Right,
about
exactly right.
Is it what's your favorite charity? What charity are you running for? All of them.
That's all right. Unless we're talking about our endless pot sticker breadsticks, I don't want to talk about it. All right, Pizza Gong guy. They're brand new at a Pizza Gong near you. But what about the race? Tell us what's going to happen. What happens if you win? Check out your local Pizza Gong for more information.
Pizza Gong's going to donate 1 crab rangoon calzone. To everyone? No. One.
Just one.
We're gonna donate 1 to my family.
Right. I think we can do that. I think we can make that happen legally.
Not your family, Lance. My family.
My
I own
family.
Pizza Gong.
That's
It's only
right.
fair I get the donation.
They need to eat. Everyone needs to eat. Am I right? We're all here for everybody, but family first. So they're right. They're just horrible people who haven't really. And again, that's probably. I want to emphasize that. That's probably the wildness and as a mockumentary, the hilariousness of all these people who are basically rarely have to answer questions themselves. Rarely always in the spotlight, but never with a mic in their face. That's what they have lawyers and assistants for. But now they're out here on this race, probably disgruntled with each other. That like, damn it, like the world got so bad that we now actually have to pretend that we care. Otherwise, it's going to be another riot in the streets. And, you know, I don't want to be as much as I like being the 13th best chocolate company, I don't want all the other ones to die so that I'm the best, because that means my head's next. Like, so let's just, you know, do a little show and dance here for the people with this run. But man, I'm not answering questions. But that's why Lance is there. And it's exciting to see these idiots.
Yeah, and
have to
his
answer questions.
assignment is like make these guys look good. Like ask them layup questions.
Because of course Pizza Gong owns ESPN, so
yeah.
so right, it's and Disney, and they bought it. Pizza Gong owns half the planet, which would be true if it existed. If we got Chinese food and pizza together
in the form of Rangoon,
because you're gonna be hungry 30 minutes later for more pizza.
The first one's $5. The second one's $38.
I need that second one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or you can buy
my
2
gosh.
for $37.
All right, take it. I'll get 4. Pizza Gong. Right.
And I think the CEOs hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like they might be pretending, but in my head, these guys all wish that everyone else on this course would have a heart attack and die, so that they could take over surveillance and Pizza Gong.
Right, exactly.
And, like there's no love between these people.
Right. It's a mystery how that's. Isn't it weird that the former CEO of ESPN died eating a crab rangoon calzone? No one else finds that weird. This Pizza Gong guy, he's up to no good. But it's
I made that specially for him when I was trying to buy his company.
He said he admitted it. He admitted it. Did anyone record that? You boy with the camera. Lance is like, oh my God, I'm an impartial observer. Shut up! I own you. What's that? Oh, I'm gonna own you soon. Oh, I can't say those things. Just do what I say.
I own my own car.
Why isn't he doing what I tell him to do?
No, you don't. You bought that through a third-party shell company that you own.
Right. You can't legally own anything. Remember the felonies. You can't own anything. It's all through shell companies. Don't say owned. He didn't say that. He didn't say owned. I think every single one of them should probably be running with a lawyer next to them with a briefcase in a 3-piece suit.
You're probably right.
That's the hilarity. Just a bunch of Barry Zuckercorns running running next to them. Please, don't ask that question. Please step away from my client.
What Mr. Pizza Gong means is that our donations are increasing every week.
Every second, more money comes into Pizza Gongs, and we
the
return it to the community.
He's giving to his family, are those the donations you're talking about?
Family is community.
No more time for questions.
Community is strength. Yeah. Pizza Gong. Yeah. What? What is that? That's just a bunch of words together. That's not real stuff. So this is all Lance trying to, again, he's like the journalist. He's not really has no idea what he's doing. It's his first gig. Maybe it has some idea. He went to school for it, passionate about it, but yeah, unprecedented access. So, and this is all like the starting line. The race hasn't even began yet. And I imagine a funny scene as as the race begins and the starter pistol goes off of half the CEOs kind of pretending to be shot. This is it. Is this it? When I disappear to the island? Fake it now. Where's the blood pack? Damn it, why isn't it working? No, sir, that's just a starter pistol. There's no plan to fake his death. The CEO Pizza Gong is as healthy as ever in shareholders. There is no blood, fake or real. I mean, he has plenty of blood in his body.
Definitely be shareholders in the audience, like to throw shit at the CEOs as they run by.
Right.
You only made me 187% last year. Throwing like metal horseshoes at him.
Right, exactly. Which is a lot of the currency now in this almost post-apocalyptic world.
What is it that you people throw at someone you disapprove of?
Right.
I don't know, like a tomato maybe or something.
All I have are small melted down metal pieces.
I'll throw my Porsche keys at him.
Oh, that's right. I'll throw my second house key. So the race is going to begin, and at first it's, again, funny stuff happens. Half of them start jogging, the other half are like, my God, I haven't run in years. Maybe some are like kind of running with maybe a trainer there who's like got a leash attached to them and basically dragging them along. They're all running, but I do kind of like the lawyers being in the race, the assistants being in the race, the personal trainers with some of them who clearly, they haven't worked out at all, but just hire a personal trainer for who knows?
Lawyer's like opening up his briefcase, sending a fax, keeping up with the CEO. CEO looks like he's running through half of Afghanistan, and the lawyer's like keeping pace with him in his three-piece suit.
Absolutely, this is all happening.
Totally decked out in full fitness gear.
Yes. Oh my God, this is amazing, right? And they get to the first water station, and I imagine 99% of them are like, "All right, that's it." As they round like turn one, a quarter mile into the race, and try to slow down to grab all this water, and their assistants and lawyers have to be like, no, like down there at the bottom of the hill by the water.
There's five more of these stops.
That's where this ends. So, but they all stop and grab some water, and I think like this is maybe before they get there. So to set it up a little bit, is all this kind of hubbub is happening at the start. We see. I'm just imagining, for storytelling's sake, like a hooded figure, we can't see their face, running to that first water station, and that's when the Giggle Water's made. They dose it all with a dropper of what we are assuming is LSD, hit all the water with it.
Yep.
Right.
I like that. There's a couple, like you could switch the water out, but you want to say that he's dosing this water. You already know it's called Giggle Water. You've seen the trailer. Like if you're watching the movie, you understand what's happening here.
Yes. And
I like that he's hitting every single bottle. You see him like capping all of the bottles, and then he's running down to the next water station.
Yes. Oh God, he's gonna keep going.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, so. For those of you listening at home, I think this protester's goal is like, are they the organizer? Are they part of it? I don't know. But their goal is, if I can get these really dense people to understand a little bit more of humanity than just a 5K, then maybe they will make some change. Like that's his mission statement.
Right. I think, yeah, his that's right. They've never been in the same room or area together. They all hate each other. This is the one shot. How do I make it worth it? Drugs. Let's bring the world together with some LSD.
Worked for the
It's worked in the
70s,
past.
worked for music.
It may work in the 2070s. It worked in the 1970s. Yeah. So I love that. So he smokes the whole first water station before anybody gets there. And so the CEOs are there now, and they're like chugging water. They think the race is over, and their assistants have to be like, no, wait, we already made the race downhill the whole way. We made it as easy as possible. We just got to keep going. Just literally pick up your feet, and the gravity will take you down.
Just look like you're running.
Right, exactly.
Because Lance is like, even
Right.
maybe at the water station, Lance is like doing a couple of interviews with him.
Right. Okay, I
You
like
know, and
that.
they're like, oh, I can't answer these questions. I need to hydrate. I need to focus on my
Exactly
health.
right.
I need to finish this race for humanity.
Right. Have you tried the new boba tea Pepsi we have at Pizza Gong? Great and refreshing. And inhales it, chokes on one of the little weird boba things.
You
Damn
can't
it.
choke. Eventually they melt.
It's just a cough, unrelated. But I am healthy as an ox, shareholders. Oh my God. There's not another fake assassin, is there? The Pizza Gong guy's got a lot going on. Faking his own death, trying to sell boba tea Pepsi.
Just trying to live up to that first big success with the calzone,
The crab
calzone goon. I don't know.
Calzone goon, only Pizza Gong. Pizza Gong.
Pizza Gong's got a ways
Pizza
to go.
Gong's got a future. Pizza Gong might be our billion-dollar idea that falls out of this podcast. Pizza Gong.
Patent pending.
We'll see you in 30 minutes again. Pizza's so good, you got to eat it later tonight.
So we've met some of the CEOs. We get a premise for what they're doing, the world they live in, and we've seen the water on this race get spiked. So I think that's enough to kind of take us into the second act.
I agree. Yep. And it can, right. And I'm always imagining that's how that first act ends, is maybe you start to see the beginnings of the trips happening, a couple CEOs swatting away flies that aren't there, a few mumbling about like, gosh, my feet feel weird. Aren't feet weird? God, why would we have 10 toes and 10 fingers? What are these toes for? Some fun thoughts percolating. We don't talk enough about male nipples. I want to talk about them now. Write this down, Joffrey. Male nipples. Why?
This is the question
really,
that's going to make
why?
us rich.
And can we make money off them?
Yeah.
Untapped male nipples are untapped. So maybe, right, of course, these mad capitalist crazy people, their first thoughts are, hi, and also how do we make money off of them? But it's all going to devolve into the chaos that lies down in the ether of the ego that only Giggle Water could take you to, which we're going to get right into in Act 2.
Things are heating up. Welcome to Act 2.
So in the beginning of Act 2, Run for Your Mind.
Ooh.
Love seemed like a pretty cool thing.
That's perfect.
We maybe even learn a little bit about the protester, like as a cutaway in between, because the CEOs have just been dosed. We all know it takes a little bit of time, but these guys are generally out of shape, running for the first time, so it's going to hit them pretty quick.
Oh, yeah,
but maybe
they're
we get
running, right.
a little, this is where we might learn the protester themselves is trying to do what they think is going to bring about a good change for humanity. But really the beginning and what most of Act 2 is about is what happens when you do LSD.
Right. It'll be a great catalog of just kind of, right, people losing their minds. And also, the best way to do LSD is to do it and not know you've done it.
Oh.
Sorry, I wasn't going to share anything deeper there. You do it in between your toes. You do it anally. It's a suppository. Got to be the right kind, though. Otherwise, you're never coming down. Every time you poop, you're going to see the future. So, trust me. So, yeah, it's like we were talking about the end of Act 1. I think it starts with fun, funny things, people having phantom limb sensations, ridiculous thoughts about untapped potential where there is no potential. I'm also like imagining almost to stop, like they get to that second water station and it's really, they're firing in all cylinders and getting really, really high. And I could almost see our three main CEOs kind of stopping and looking at each other and just dropping trow all the way down and to pee off this hillside of like, I gotta pee. You gotta pee. I knew you had to pee. I think we all should pee together. We should do it together. We should all pee.
They're all in
and
first place together.
Sure, right. We should celebrate this. We really walked down that hill well, and I feel great. I feel great. I just want to pee off this mountain right here and claim it. Claim it as my mountain.
Huge opportunity for a comedic scene here, like a literal dick measuring contest.
Right. Oh, there we go. Right. But they're too fucked up to realize it. It's kind of like, I like the rainbow that's coming out of your pee, and yours is all sparkly like stars. I love the stars.
What do you think would happen if we peed on each other?
Let's find out right now.
Nothing. I'm wearing midnight. Yeah.
Poof. Me too. I forgot.
Jeff Bezos and Elon Tusk are just peeing on Mike Zuckerberg.
Exactly right. Look how much it just disappears. Disappears right off me.
I'm peeing with my pants off.
Exactly right. I always do. I haven't peed in a toilet in years. These midnights are great. Just don't tell anyone else about them, right? We got to keep between us. So maybe that's fun. Maybe as sad as it is for the rest of the world, a little bit of bonding around their secret technology and their extravagant lifestyles, specifically these midnight pants that evaporate pee. They're starting to bond a little bit as they're high as shit. And then, I mean, I think it's even fun as they look out over the mountain or like off the ravine or wherever they are at this water station as they're going down. What I imagine it's kind of like a winding road towards the coast. That's their race trail, their race route. They like stare off towards the tree line at the bottom of the hill. They're like, my God, do you all see what I'm seeing? Yes, I think I do. Is that a unicorn? And immediately Tusk is like his days of hunting elephants flash in his mind. And he's like, that horn must be mine. And just runs down the hill at a unicorn that doesn't exist. And only to be followed by the other two of like, well, he can't get it first. If there's one unicorn left, I'm going to get it.
Mark Zuckerberg's like, actually, I thought I saw my mom telling me that I did a good job and I was a good boy.
Right. I'll just sit here and wait for her to tell me I did a good job again and just watch as the other two fall down this hill.
I saw my nanny saying, Mom's coming home to eat dinner with you today. You've been a good boy.
Ooh, I like this. So there can be also maybe a little bit of what's going to happen to everybody of the kind of, right, that introspection that can happen sometimes when you're allegedly on some of these mind-altering drugs, where it starts out as fun and games and unicorns in the woods and peeing on each other, and then all of a sudden your father's 19 feet tall standing next to you saying, you can't hit the ball, it's right on the tee, it's right on the tee, it's right on the tee, it's right on the tee. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you keep getting smaller and smaller until an ant is towering above you, and you're just looking at the bottom of an ant going, I'm sorry, I've killed so many of your brothers and sisters. And they go, we're all brothers down here. And then you just disappear into darkness. And then it's just you and the T-ball in this cave. So, things like that.
Surrounded by stacks of dollar bills, which bring you comfort.
Right, exactly.
But then the cave starts to flood, and the bills get soak up the water. Unlike midnight pants, they get spongy. Now you're in this like gooey pile of money that's holding you down.
Yes,
maybe
yes.
You start to see, like with all hallucinogenics, there's a touch of what they call ego death.
Oh yeah,
and a little bit of maybe it just opens up an understanding of some of the things that motivate you subconsciously,
right? Good
or bad.
Right.
Like that time you got yelled at when you were 6 and you don't realize that that's why you always close the door when you go pee or something like that.
Right.
Like it
right.
helps
right.
unpack a little bit of that. Is it true? Is it not? Make your own mind up.
Sure.
Look at the studies.
Yeah.
I think this is starting to really unravel these CEOs. Like maybe
that.
Elon Tusk knows that he's partially responsible for the death of elephants, and that's something that he lives with because he's a billionaire.
Right.
But maybe there's a little inkling where he's like, man, I fucking loved elephants when I was a kid.
You're right. That's why exactly right. And maybe as he runs down the hill, chase after the unicorn, it's not a unicorn, but it's like a child's like elephant shaped swing set in a backyard. And he gets to the fence and sees it. And it's like, my God, I've been chasing these my whole life. All I wanted to do was love elephants. I wanted an elephant. I wanted to ride an elephant around my father's gigantic mansion. And I ended up killing them all. What? I don't know.
Now, my mansion is 5 times bigger than my father's,
exactly right.
but there are no elephants left.
Right, just their heads on my walls. But don't tell anybody that. Lance, you didn't record that, did you? I don't have any elephant heads, I swear. I never did any ivory trading. That was all made up by the tabloids. My jealous ex-wife. But also, right, still, but then he turns and starts crying on this person's fence, staring at their elephant-shaped swing set. And so I like that. That's happening a bit too. And I think, Tusk, I think maybe he's the one carrying the biggest demons here. And it's like Lance moves away from him and Tusk is there kind of staring at the elephant swing set, crying. Does he hear like a voice or like a figure, a dark figure, like seem to emerge from behind a tree, John? His past or maybe something else seems to be trying to tell him something.
You'd have to be tripping pretty hard.
And they've already gone through 2 water stations. So let's say they've chugged 2 Giggle Waters. It's happening.
This is like, just for anyone that's thinking about trying it, you'd have to have like 30 Giggle Waters to experience this level of trip, I think. But,
sure.
Yeah. So Elan,
excuse me.
Elan Tusk, not based on
anyone who's
people,
alive or dead.
With access to every bit of private information about me. Certainly not anyone existing in real life.
No.
Elan's going through it. He's maybe he's got himself back to the race course. He's like zombie jogging, totally stone faced, totally pale, sweat coming off of his cold face.
Right.
And he sees this creature emerge and start just following and whispering in his ear, sort of demon like, talking about how you'll never be as rich as your father. You'll never even be as rich as the pizza gong man. You're worthless. You're one step away from poverty, and everyone knows it. And it's just like just whispering these evil thoughts, mostly about how poor he is. Just like I imagine every pretty girl feels like they're not pretty. Elan Tusk feels like he's not wealthy enough to do what? Yep. Who knows?
And I think this creature, this kind of black, smoky, black creature, the lagoon type thing, I like that we kind of, as the audience sees, is just a shadowy thing. Because again, he's tripping his balls off. The world isn't exactly coming in full focus right now. But maybe it's also like Tusk immediately realizes like, it's you, that the voice in the back of my head that tells me to keep working, that tells me to buy that company and fire all their employees and consolidate it and then offshore all the work and pay them nothing. Like, I know you. You've been in my head forever. What are you? I've always known there was something down there making me do these things.
I'm part of you, Elan.
What is your name? How did you get into me? What have you done? I loved elephants. And now I'm here peeing on this man's fence, crying at his kids' toys because of you, right? It must have been you that put us here.
The pizza gong dad called me Profetra.
Oh, okay. I like this.
I'm trying to think of a cool profit-based demon, greed-based. Like,
nailed it.
Okay.
Profetra.
Greedy girl. That's not as good.
That's a different movie. Back Alley Kitty, too.
Why are all the men wearing socks and nothing else?
Is this a Macy's
they
ad?
Call me Bukakigan. No.
Oh, that man.
Different demon. That's his wife's demon.
Right.
This is Profetra, the demon of the greediest demon of all.
Yes, I like that. Right. And so Elan is having this moment with this creature who he now is kind of semi-convinced in his current mental state maybe is the reason he's made all these mistakes that have made him billions of dollars, but still clearly he's unhappy inside and sad about the elephants. So he's going through that. Zuckerberg is crying about his mom or dad. We've got Bozo. So Bozo ran down the hill too to chase the unicorn, which ended up being just a plaything. What should he be going through? Is he still having a blast? Is he like having the most fun at all? He was a clown. I mean, maybe is he returning to that a little bit, or is he also encountering some demon forces? Is he just kind of running about naked in the field, forgetting about the race?
I don't think so. Bozo was a clown, and then at some point in his life, he became a wealthy CEO that doesn't sell human skin shoes.
No, never.
Or whatever else he doesn't do. Can't monetize money.
Stealing everyone's laughs.
So what I think I don't know how to explain it in the movie, but what's happening to Bozo is he's starting to experience understanding and perspective and empathy. What happened is he was a clown. He had a clown fiance,
Of course,
and
as
they
all
went to go
clowns
do a kids party for a wealthy guy, and he was like, "This is it. This is our connection. We're gonna start doing wealthy kids parties. We're gonna actually get paid on time.
Right.
We're gonna start a life." My fiance clown, and the party guy was a recently single dad, lots of money, cool stuff. Took good care of him, and then he said to Bozo's fiance, he's like, "You know what? I could use a clown full time," and tossed her the keys to like a G-Wagon, and he was like, "You don't have to leave, baby. You can just stay with me, and you can send Bozo packing." So that's what happened.
Wow.
He lost his fiance to a rich guy, and he was like, "You know what? Done being a clown. I'm gonna and he did. He outrich that guy.
Right, exactly.
You've never even heard of his business. He erased it from the history books.
Right. It was Advil. He invented Advil, and Bozo came in and completely deleted Advil, and now you can only buy Oddvil.
Now everyone will experience pain.
Right. And then he was like, wait a second. I deleted Advil from the market. I could probably fill that void and make a lot of money. And that's when he went down to the Amazon and started stealing, Ibogaine or whatever's down there that he made the next Advil with. And I like that. Did it for vengeance for his wife. And so he's that moment, he's reliving that in this field, naked, cross-legged, high out of his mind, but seeing in the clouds or the stars or whatever, this all happening again. And what's he doing? What do you got?
He's realizing, though, that everything he hated about that guy, he now,
of course,
now that he looks in on himself, he understands. He's like, I have all this money, and I don't know how to experience joy. Like, I thought about buying Zuckerberg's wife the other day.
Right.
He's like, I'm becoming him, and it's starting to help him understand, maybe not forgive, but understand why that happened to him. And maybe his role is understanding this and now using his wealth to bring joy, like is the best clown ever.
Right.
Maybe it's not quite turning him around 100%,
but
I think
he's seeing something, right? He's seeing something he was ignoring for a long time. But I like that idea if he's kind of become the thing he hated. And maybe he flashes back to before the moment he lost his clown wife. And what was going on before this party at this rich guy's house was like Bozo knew this guy owned Advil and was like, our family has a small plot in the Amazon with all these cool plants on it. I brought up a whole business plan. I think we can sell some of these plants to this guy. Maybe he'll let me get a cut of the money. You started a company and we could also make other drugs. And this idea consumed him. He started neglecting his wife. No, the plans, the Amazon, it's our future, baby. It's our future. And she's juggling in the background, like working on their act, and he's just doing spreadsheets. And she's like, you don't watch America's Funniest Home Videos with me anymore. We don't paint each other's faces. We don't dress up the dog.
You don't
dance
even
around the
like
house.
being a clown.
Right, exactly. You've forgotten your clown ways. Clowns don't use computers. Clowns throw funny wet flowers at each other. Clowns pull flowers out of people's butts. You're on Excel. You've forgotten what we're doing here, why we're here on this planet. So he's consumed by this idea of becoming a zillionaire, and then in his maybe what should have been his greatest moment all blows up, and this man steals his wife and his life away from him. And so he sees that moment. It's very much like, what is it? A Christmas Carol. He's seeing the ghost of Christmas Past right now, and then having those realizations of like, my God, I shouldn't have hated him. I did it. I pushed her away. It was only a matter of time. I was a fool.
A Christmas Carol was the first big movie play about a man that does LSD.
That's right. Exactly. And he's in his pajamas running around London, yelling at a bunch of bed sheets, thinking he's having some ego death himself.
You can have a turkey.
Is that Scrooge? Should we let him in? Tell him he's in the road? No, he's an asshole. Let him be cold outside. Maybe he'll learn something. He just had hypothermia because he was drugged out of his mind on absinthe and just yelling at a bunch of people's clothes. And anyway, it's a great show, great musical if you were a Muppets fan. Okay, so I like that. So Bozo is seeing the error of his ways, and like you said, maybe has this hint of, can I return to that? Can I return to making the world laugh? Can I be Bozo again? So we leave him with that thought. And the tricky thing I'm realizing now for Lance is like he's filming a bunch of people just kind of peeing themselves, staring off into abyss, talking to nothing. Like he's missing all the context of all these great revelations that these CEOs are having. But we'll make it work in the movie where somehow we're seeing this stuff too, if it ever becomes a movie.
Since it's a documentary, and these guys are tripping, but they're CEOs that have enough discipline to finish the race. They meet up with Lance around the third or fourth,
Right.
we'll say fourth water checkpoint. You can see the finish line from here. And
I like that.
And all the CEOs, like the Potato Wealth family,
Right,
the guys that sell rocks for your driveway family. Like all the CEOs are tripping. But the documentary mainly focuses on these big three, and this is Lance's opportunity to kind of get them and ask him a couple of questions, like now that you're getting close to the end of the race, what do you feel about humanity? And the answers they give are much more thoughtful or enlightened.
Right.
Like the one of the CEOs is like, what I realized, like my dad owns 95% of the potatoes in this country.
Right.
And that means if we decide to cut our potato prices down, then everyone could buy potatoes. He's like, it would make me less rich, which has always been bad. But now I think if people could eat, maybe that's good, right? Like the answers start getting a little bit more.
These obvious things start percolating to the top. I think we'll also have the pizza gun guy, though, like, going off the rails of like
100%.
We once had a guy fall into the crab rangoon pot and we put him in 1,000 calzones. He didn't say that. He didn't. His lawyer jumping in. He never said that. Never happened. No man was ever in a pot. Ever in a pot.
It was an undocumented female worker.
Right. We're not even sure she's human. I think she was mostly crab.
You can't prove it. It was probably crab meat with a K.
Right. So he's just like maybe burning his entire fortune to the ground. But I like this, that most of them are having some kind of, like we said in the beginning, they briefly become enlightened. This is the brief part. This is the enlightened part, where they're kind of seeing how they could do their part to lower prices, to make so-and-so more available, to stop exploiting X, Y, and Z. It's really not hard.
but done at like the most like lobotomized level. Right,
exactly.
I could do a 5% cut on potatoes, or the NFTs that I made a whole bunch of money on. Like I should make NFTs of poor people, so they can see themselves in my art.
Right.
Like little turning points, but kind of done, not necessarily like good heart, but kind of bad idea.
Right. Maybe 7,000% margin's too much, but maybe it's not. For a moment, just a quick
with the money that I make, I should give them something back, like an extra credit card for free, so they could have one at home and then one in their. What do they do in their cars or subways?
How are they at places?
Yeah, we could do. We
give
could
them more money. I own.
Make it. We could put the credit card and stamp it right on everyone's hand.
Put it in their skin.
That way,
People
they always have access to their credit card, and I still make 7,000%. But it's easier for them too.
Right in their fists.
Why didn't I see it?
That's right. So when they flick me off, I can charge them by holding my phone out.
Give them the car, but charge them by the mile.
Right. Of course. Free cars for everyone. Asterisks. And they're yelling to their lawyers, put the asterisks in there. I'll tell you what it means later. They're just like frantically. God damn it. It's the worst day of my life. It's all the lawyers would have killed themselves. All the assistants are already half dead. CEOs aren't even breaking a sweat because they have no idea they're running, and they keep having these side adventures through people's backyards and the woods and things like that. But they, like, as we said, they're back on track. They're probably getting towards the end, right, of this. It's just a 5K. Downhill.
It is, in relative speaking, the walk to work.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so most of the CEOs are starting to realize through the course of this race that perhaps they've been kind of the monster that they're trying to help with this race for humanity.
Right.
And I can't, like, I want them to maybe like get together a little bit, but maybe even as the fourth dose starts kicking in, they start turning on each other and hating each other. Like, you're so profiteering. I can't believe you charge 7,000% interest to use a credit card, but I'm going to stamp it on their hand.
Right.
They start like battling with each other a little bit.
I like that. So maybe they're starting to verbalize their ideas that are half baked, and the other ones start to hate on it, or that same idea. You're in my mind, aren't you? You did this to me. You're taking my thoughts. So okay, that could be happening. I like that with Pizza Gun Guy and the Rockefeller family, and some of these kind of next level or next lower level CEOs. But I think it would also be interesting if, like, at this moment, so Tusk is going through it, right? Like with this creepy Prefetra kind of following him around,
this lifelong demon,
whispering on his ear is the angel and the demon. And maybe he catches up with Bozo and Zerkberg, and he's like, guys, like, you're never gonna believe this, but something's happening to me. And how about this? Like, Bozo and Zerkberg can like see Prefetra, and they're like, take a step back when Tusk gets closer. Like, my gosh, what the hell is that thing behind you? And Tusk's like, you can see this too. But maybe as Bozo and Zerkberg look closer at it, they're like, yes, son of a gun. And like immediately get less stressed out at this creepy black smoke monster thing. And they're like, yeah. And Tusk is like, what do you mean? Yeah, like this fucking freak is following me. It's been ruining my life. This creature, this is blame for everything. This is why I killed all those elephants. And
that he didn't kill.
Right, he didn't kill. Allegedly. Or not allegedly. Whatever. I've never been to Africa. I've never seen it before in my life. What the fuck's an elephant? Is that the thing with the jumps around with the pouch? Good. Use the lines. His lawyer's like, good. That's right. Like, yep, pretend they're a kangaroo. You never seen an elephant.
Kangaroos don't have ivory. Too specific.
That's right. Don't say ivory. You never seen ivory. You never seen a piano before. You don't know anything about any of that stuff. All right. We can't be in the same room as a piano. But so I think Bozo and Zerkberg both are like, that's not a demon. What the fuck is Prefetra? Like, that's just, I know what that is. I've seen it before. I talked to my therapist about it. Sometimes when you have high stress jobs like us, you make a lot of decisions that don't end up okay, and you got to deal with that. That's just your guilt falling around. Like that's just you, man. Like that's not some demon. Like those are all your bad choices. You made them. Like that's not a living creature or a demon or anything like that. Like that's you just deciding to take the shortcut, make the extra buck, kill all those elephants you allegedly never killed. You did that, not some demon. And immediately kind of for Zerkberg and Bozo, that creature just disappears. And maybe it's still hovering a little bit behind Tusk as he's like, what are you talking about? And so that's their literal ego death, or whatever the hell this thing is, this kind of subconscious guilt, the evilness in us all. We can call it whatever we want.
Guilt's a good word for it.
Yeah, right. So that's what he's seeing. And again, he's trying to blame all his bad decisions on some outside force. It's Tusk. There is no one else, folks. We're all accountable for our own actions, unless you're fucked up on LSD. But that's me, even still. Probably, I mean, legally you are accountable for them in the eyes of the law. But I think that'll be a moment, a low point for Tusk, who's maybe saw it as an out, and I'm a good guy and I love elephants, just this evil demon. Nope. And maybe that sends him on a spiral too, realizing he doesn't have a scapegoat, and he turns on the other two of, so easy for you just to deal with your guilt. You're not haunted by anything because you never had to make a tough decision in your life. You just sell people shoes, and
they're shoes for people.
No, I don't.
They're shoes for people.
Shoes for people. There's no people parts in them. There's no people parts.
I say that clearly on the commercial.
That's right. Every time. Yeah, it's playing all day. A lot of people are talking about this. They're pretty sure they're made of people. You talk about it.
Why would they say that? It says not made with people skin.
You have a huge billboard that says no people skin were used in the making of these shoes. No one's thinking about people and shoes.
Nike's not saying that. Reebok's not saying that. I'm the only one saying I don't have skin in my shoes.
I'm being serious. We thought it would work as a marketing tech. Like the only cigarettes that won't kill you. Well, it didn't. But they're fighting. So now Zerkberg, Bozo, and Tusk are having it out, just like all the other CEOs are, as they get to like kind of the end of this race. All of them realizing in one way or another that like they're the monsters of the world, as they try to hate on each other, doubt themselves. They only have themselves to blame. John.
True. First, you see the demon in your compatriots,
Your gardener.
then then if you do enough Giggle Water, you'll start to see that maybe the demon in you. And
Right.
as we get close to the finish line, that's
Yeah.
a perfect place to end Act 2 and decide what's going to happen in Act 3 and the finisher here.
This is it. The final showdown. Act 3.
How about this? So they're all kind of like bickering and fighting and stuff. And maybe we haven't talked about him a little bit, but the protester, the hooded figure who, again, as you said, his or her whole plan is to like try to unite these CEOs. He's kind of hiding in the bushes along the side of the race the whole time, seeing how it's going. He sees it's going south. So he's like, well, I only have one tool in my tool chest, my tool bag, and that's LSD. So maybe I'll just add more LSD to the final water station, and we can get these guys back on track. Like maybe he even like missed the fourth water station, so they're coming down off their high and starting to attack each other. For some reason, he ran into some issue, security guard got stuck in a backyard, whatever. But he's back on track until like double doses the last water station.
Why
So it's
not?
super Giggle Water as a Hail Mary attempt. He's going to try to Doug Flutie this thing into happening. And indeed, we're going to see right now if he was right or not. But so they hit that last water station. They're all grumpy, yelling at each other. All the lawyers, their fingers are bleeding as they're trying to write up lawsuits and countersuits and logging, dirt on someone, blackmail this guy, blackmail this person.
I'm just hoping we get out of this at 50-50 break even.
He's like, you don't need to give away half your company. He just called you a dick. That's not the punishment fit the crime. Right, so that's good. So they're all idiots. They're all high, but kind of coming down off it. Now they're grumpy, but I got to get a nice, refreshing chug of super Giggle Water. And okay, so that's gonna happen. They're at that table chugging this water as the protester watches nearby, hoping, crossing all his fingers. This is it. We got a half mile left. It's got to kick in quick, which it will, because it's my special brand of super fast LSD or whatever. It's a movie. It's got to work immediately almost, and indeed it does. Indeed it does.
And so that big final dose, Giggle Water,
Giggle.
is enough to push everyone over the peak of their trip. So they're all kind of collected there. All the CEOs run at about the same pace. The big three just make sure no one passes them.
Yeah.
And they all get together at the fourth dose table, drink their super LSD drink, and immediately start almost like kumbayaing, right? It gets very
good.
sedated, and all the accusations of you're the demon and you're the demon start turning into like this peaceful arm in arm trot to the finish line, where instead of saying like, hey, my company could help your company, I'll be damned if your company gets anything out of my company. We're never working together.
Right.
Like instead of those typical remarks,
Right.
it's starting to be, again, flawed, but like, you know what? My company makes houses and your company makes roads.
Right.
Let's build a house and a road
There we
and
go.
give that to one person every year. One
Right.
affordable house, right? That's what they
house.
want. Affordable house. We'll do this for free for one person a year. Their own house with their own road to it.
Perfect. Right. So they're still scratching only the surface of helping the world as they build a single house for free a year.
Yeah.
But I like this idea, right? It's the best they can do. These guys are still out of touch idiots, but they're right, taking that one small step in the right direction. And I love that idea. I think that can happen just by simply the protester double dosing the water and like literally playing Kumbaya on his phone in the woods. And they just all hear it and immediately kind of just like zone into it. And they're like, I love this song. I loved going to camp as a child. Camp was simpler. And maybe that does like kick him right back into like childhood, simple times, simple pleasures you can share. Remember to share.
True. You don't meet many CEO kids.
Right. Exactly.
There are the ones that don't want to share, and later they grow up
Certainly.
to be the Zuckerbergs and the Tusks of the world. But
yes, but I think that can be enough to have this moment happen where they start to align themselves with each other. They see ways, even if they're still at the end of the day thinking about how can I use this as a tax write-off. ways to give back a little bit more.
It's almost like a collective agreement
Right.
that for now, at least,
Right.
on 4 doses of LSD,
Exactly.
they can put aside the chase for profit,
Right.
and they can actually try to change the world. Now, of course,
Right.
their actions they're taking maybe aren't super baked.
Right, exactly.
Um,
Ma Bell, if you tell me every time someone thinks of a crab rangoon calzone, just thinks of it, I'll give them one for free with the order of, as long as they buy some pot sticker breadsticks. But I'll give them one.
I'm doing good for you. I'm trying to think of how to do this for
That's
good.
right. Exactly
for
right.
people,
I know
for
they'll be
good.
back in 35 minutes for another order anyway. So we can make that work, can't we, Ma Bell? And she doesn't acknowledge she can hear people's thoughts, but it's kind of just a curt nod.
I was thinking maybe every time someone thinks something bad about their significant other, I would text it to their significant other in the spirit of openness and communication.
That could work. That could work.
That's just what they need.
That's right. By the way, can we invest in divorces? Oh, let's get together about that. Blah, 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 blah. Right, exactly. Larry,
It's always
look
the
that up.
lawyers. The lawyers get to make all the divorce money.
That's right. Damn you, lawyers. Write that down, lawyer. Yeah. So okay, cool. So they're right. They're again. CEOs aren't going to save the world, folks. It's up to us. We got to tear them all down. No, but this movie isn't going to end. I don't think with like the world being saved. I think it's going to end with the world seeing these people aren't going to save. Because again, Lance is watching all this stuff happen, and I wonder if like a part of the end of the movie, not the end, but a part of it, can maybe also be like Lance interviewing people after they watched the movie and being like, what did you think? And they're like, I thought these people might be a little more than egotistical maniacs who don't understand how an average person lives, but they're not our future. They're not going to save us. We
I don't
do that
understand
ourselves.
how they even built
Exactly,
Pizza
right.
Gong if this
I
is
don't
the
know.
best of their ideas.
They have no good ideas in those sets. I don't know how they do wipe their butt or tie their shoes. They don't. They have assistants for those things. All right, well that settles it then. So the world loses the enchantment of CEOs as well as like a result of this. What was intended to be a fluff piece revealed them to be what they truly are. But I think we can also even zoom out further and give this a nice little beer me that movie twist, John. What do you have? Do you have anything up that lovely sleeve of yours?
So I love the idea of like some Lance interviews afterwards, people watching the race, people watching the film. Maybe those are always fun. Like The Office did great, and
yes.
Then we get back to the music's playing, charity race, humanity 5K. We're back in the race, and we're taking a drone shot now, and we go back to like the fourth dose. I've never said that so many times. Not even when we made the fourth dose movie is our second feature
It's a
film.
good one. Check it out.
They go back to Station 4 where there's a CEO just sitting by the table. He missed the kumbaya. He hasn't gone to the finish line yet. He's just experiencing pure joy, laughing, hand down his pants, pee in his pants. He's not wearing midnight, so you can see the pee. He's like he's laying on an empty water bottle, thinking he's just invented a pillow.
And these are our heads in our beds.
He's just so happy that he's finally realized, like, it doesn't matter how much money I get, I'll never be happy.
Ooh, okay.
And right as he exclaims this, we see our favorite person in the BMTM universe.
Amen.
Emerge from the crowd of people still here watching.
This guy be himself next to this table.
It's a nun, but it's
a hand we all
sexy
know.
nun.
Yes.
It's a very sexy nun. You see a puff of cigar smoke.
Yes.
And then you see this sexy nun reach up and pick him up. And she just whispers as we get ready to fade to black, if you want to change the world, I can show you. And maybe she hands him a Giggle Water.
Right,
for
exactly.
the
You look
walk away.
dehydrated. You just peed your pants. Have some of this. Right, I like that. That maybe the whole thing was just an experiment for the sexy nun to find the one CEO of 50 or 60 that had that thought, right? Actually had the ego death. There's got to be one good egg in this fucking rotten basket. And she found him, the one who actually had the ego death. as this unnamed CEO did at this table. I love that. That's good. I think we can end Giggle Water there. CEOs still don't have all the answers for the world that we're looking for. It's up to us to figure it out ourselves, but at least we got to watch them fall down a hill and pee on each other. And
Yeah, a lot more pee than I thought.
me too. And we invented crab rangoon calzones, which really is going to make John and I the actual CEOs of Pizza Gong in the future. And you're probably watching this in a history class right now in middle school, learning about John and I
How did Pizza Gong come to be?
How did these two idiots become presidents of Mars and Earth? Well, the podcast they used to make. It's happening right now. The birth of
Crab
Pizza Gong.
rangoon used to be this tiny little thing.
It's tiny, but it's a calzone. What are you talking about? No. It used to be a tiny little dumpling thing.
Before Beer Me That Movie, the world was just living in suffrage.
Right, with tiny crab rangoons. No, idiots, it can be bigger. Everything can be bigger, like a calzone. Crab rangoon calzone. Maybe the best idea I've ever had, John.
I'm not gonna debate that. So wrapping up Giggle Water, I know one of the things you asked me about is trying to come up with a movie tagline.
Yes, we did that. I think we did that last time. We had some funny ideas. We could do that now a little bit. Yes, for Giggle Water. Giggle Water. And lots happened since the Fast Five and the start of this movie. Oh boy. But it basically did what we thought it would do of these dumb CEOs not really having the answers we hoped they would. But Giggle Water.
My first thought was hydration meets hallucination.
Perfect. I love that.
I'm thinking like movie poster, couple words,
Yep.
nice and easy.
That's good. Or like drink deep, think weird. That's another good one.
Giggle Water. If you pee, it's working.
Right, exactly. Pee your pants and free your mind. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes,
Giggle Water.
Right.
For all the times your dad told you sucked.
Right, exactly. Laugh till you drop your pants. Giggle Water. Yeah. We'll give us your tagline. Send it in. We'll share it as we do as many things as we can that you guys share with us. But yeah, we're gonna try to do this at the end of each feature now. Run through some tagline ideas. So those are a few good ones. I like it. I like that.
Giggle Water. Therapy, but not for bitches.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wish we could work the Pizza Gong into it somehow. Giggle Water, a crab rangoon for your bladder, and a crab rangoon pizza for your mind. I don't know. Still sparkling
Gong.
gong. You're gone and you're gong. The world needs more Giggle Water. That's for sure. Don't leave home without it. Don't leave your mind without it. Giggle Water, don't leave your ego without it.
Don't leave your mind behind.
Don't leave your mind behind. There we go. Something like that. Whatever. I'll wake up at 4:30 this morning with a great one. That's how life works. But those are some fun ones to play with. Again, let us know your own. But yeah, that was fun. It's always fun to run down these silly rabbit holes with you, John, and see what weird food ideas or bowls that can talk. Could Ferdinand talk? He was just high. I don't remember.
I don't think he talked. But Ferdinand was great. But I will figure out how to make a crab rangoon calzone this weekend, and
like a real one.
Yeah. How hard can it be? You see like a giant egg wrapper.
19 crab rangoon orders from your local Pizza Gong and throw them into the calzone part's easy. It's getting that much crab rangoon.
That's the hard part. We're gonna need a big block of cream cheese.
We'll figure it out. We'll call Cisco. There you go. Right. Oh my God. All right. Well, Giggle Water, we did it. Thank you guys for picking it. I can't believe we're not saying that was Vortex Hands or that was Glitter and Doom right now, but we're not. And we're happy about it. That's why we want to do the voting. We want to make what you guys want us to. We don't care what we do. It's fun hanging out together. So we'll keep drinking beers and doing it. Tune in next week. Remember, voting's still on. Fast Five. 5 new movie ideas. 4 will make the cut. You tell us what we're doing next. maybe there's another Giggle Water out there.
Yeah, we got
next time.
4 user submissions
That's
coming
right.
in next week. It's a big one.
Indeed, indeed. So we're going to sign off and get started on that. But you guys tune out or tune in or
Don't pee your pants unless you're wearing midnights.
there we go. Couldn't have said it better myself, John. So until next time,
Peace.
punch. Give me your Giggle Water.
Nailed it.